The following is a high-five moment from highfivecasino.com.
I won! Yahoo! Private, put down your phone. This is the Army.
Sarge, High Five Casino is a social casino. It's on your phone. Goes wherever you go. I win free spins, cash, prizes, free daily rewards, over 1,200 games. I won again.
Platoon, present cell phone. High Five.
High Five.
Casino.
Casino.
Win at highfivecasino.com.
High Five Casino is a social casino. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited. Play responsibly. Conditions apply. See website for details.
High Five Casino.
Time now for sports on 104.7 The Cave. Here's Ned Reynolds.
Mike the intern, Ned Reynolds, back in the studio on a Monday morning. So, we are getting very close to when the Chiefs start their training camp.
Very close. 1 week from tomorrow is when the rookies and the free agents will be arriving at Missouri Western State in St. Joe, and then the veterans report on, between July 20th and 21st, somewhere around there. And this is the start. They'll have a slew of people in there, probably over 100, and it'll be up to Chiefs to cut them down to a team of 53. So there will be some interesting slices to go along the way, but over and above all that, that's what it's all about, getting ready to be a three-peat for Kansas City, or at least that's what they hope anyway, and many of the pundits think they will three-peat, but we'll see. That's going to be awfully tough to do, in all honesty.
It is a very tough thing to do. In fact, it's never been done before, but also very excited some of these preseason matchups, too. Obviously, they're in Jacksonville for that first one, but the Lions home game on the 17th of August should be pretty cool. 3 afternoon, Saturday, bring the kids.
Oh, yeah.
Get them acclimated.
That's what it's
Hopefully
about.
It's not super hot, because hot days at Arrowhead are no bueno. All right, speaking of hot days, it looked a little warm at Wimbledon this past weekend, didn't it?
They've had some very good temperatures, but they've also had a lot of rain. Fortunately, 2 of the venues at Wimbledon are covered, so they're able to get some of the matches in. All the others, of course, have to be postponed until that rain stops. But when you consider the accomplishments of the ladies players who performed what are called upsets yesterday, are they really upsets? I can't imagine it. First of all, these ladies are all the same. The ones who went to college, and by the same, I'm talking about the same age. The ones who went to college and the ones who did not. Emma Navarro, All-America at Virginia and the NCAA Women's National Champ in 2022, knocked out Coco Gauff. Is it a big surprise? Not really. Navarro is a very fine player. And so is Lulu Sun, S-U-N, obviously of Asian parentage, but she's an All-America at Texas. And she represents New Zealand, and she won her match in a not necessarily a big surprise. It was a very dominant match by them. Both those ladies are into the quarterfinals, and as far as the men are concerned, Novak Djokovic is there, so is Carlos Alcaraz. They're having some pretty good competition. All comes to an end this coming weekend.
It was nice to see my buddy Dave Grohl watching some tennis there recently as well. Also, a pretty good golf tournament this weekend, wasn't it?
This was the John Deere Classic up at Silvis, Illinois. It's called the Coal Valley, and this, interestingly enough, has a very significant part of Ozarks golf lore to it, because this is where Payne Stewart won his first ever pro tournament at this particular tournament, the John Deere Classic. Yesterday, this is not one of the biggies, so many of the big names are sitting this one out and getting ready for the British Open, which comes up in 2 weeks. Davis Thompson got the win. He's been a pro for a couple of years, and get this, Mike, he finished 28 under par. 28 under. That's what you see the pros who play at Highland Springs shooting. Hey, this golf course up in Silvis, Illinois, not much of a challenge. 28 under par, and Davis Thompson got the win.
When it comes to the National League Central Division, the Milwaukee Brewers are pretty much holding their own at the top of the hill, but good news for the Cardinals. There's not a lot of competition in that division, and they're in second place.
They are in second, and the fact of the matter remains the Cardinals have to make hay while they can, because they are in a very easy part. If you can call anything in Major League Baseball easy, well, that's where the Cardinals are in their schedule. Playing the Washington Nationals, they are under 500. They're a young team. The Nationals are going to be a whole lot better in the coming years, but right now they're still a little shaky. Matter of fact, Nolan Gorman had an RBI double to break a tie yesterday that dropped in between the third baseman and the left fielder because neither one of them called for it. Now, see, that's what happens when you have a young team that really hasn't played together. Anyway, Cardinals got the win over the Nationals 8-3, and they play again this afternoon in a 3 o'clock start in Washington. That's the way the schedule calls for it. But the fact of the matter remains the Cardinals have to get well while they can. Have the Royals Tuesday and Wednesday up in St. Louis. Then they have the Cubs coming into St. Louis. So it is really, when you consider everything, a relatively easy part of the schedule, and the Cardinals need to make the ground while they can.
Especially right now. And you can't really say that for the Royals have an opportunity against a team I thought they could handle, but over the weekend, Rockies giving it to them.
Rockies were pretty tough until yesterday, and then the Royals took it out on them 10-1, and Kansas City got some big-time hits. It's going to happen. That is part of Major League Baseball. It's part of any Major League sport when you have a lengthy regular season, and Major League Baseball is 162 games. You'll have your peaks and valleys. The good teams have very high peaks and very short valleys, while the mediocre teams or the middle-of-the-road teams, and the situation is converse for them as well. But in the Royals' case, they went through a small valley out in Colorado, but now they are back on top 10-1, and now they visit the Cardinals tomorrow night. Royals have a pretty good team, folks. I have 3 All-Stars on there. Cardinals only have 1. Ryan Helsley, the only Cardinal on the All-Star team. I said, oh my gosh, what has happened to the old days? But be that as it may, that's
also,
what happened.
One of the first times that I can remember in a long time that the Royals had two starting pitchers going to the All-Star game, which I think is saying something about that team, which is great.
And how about Seth Lugo being one of them? Here's a guy who's been around forever and ever and really come into his own.
Huge for them. Springfield Cardinals, how we doing right there?
The Springfield Cardinals played Saturday night and won on a 3-run homer in the 8th inning by the 9th guy in the lineup who never hits home runs, Ramon Mendoza. And he stuck one in the bullpen to win the game, broke a 3-3 tie, and Cardinals won 6-3. Now, because of an anomaly in the schedule brought about by the 4th of July holiday, the Cardinals did not play yesterday, nor will they play today. This is 2 days off. Then they resume action coming up on Tuesday right through to Sunday.
And they are away this week.
No. They're
back in town this
week.
week.
The Wichita Wind Surge.
Yes, sir. Well, we got a huge street race going on in Chicago over the weekend as well. We got to talk about who won that one.
Alex Bowman got the win, breaking an 80-race winless streak. And this is an interesting race, too. It's called the Grant Park 165. It's raced, I think it's 22 or 23 laps around a perimeter at Grant Park, which is a huge park in the city of Chicago, very much like New York Central Park. Well, it rained. And the weather forecasters have said, not going to rain this weekend, guys. It's going to be great up here. Au contraire. Rain, they had to halt the race for a couple of hours. Then the NASCAR folks allowed them to put on rain tires, and they completed it, but didn't run the full race. They had to put what they call a countdown clock. And that because, after all, there are no lights. And once it starts getting dark, you've got to beat that clock. And Alex Bowman got the white flag and the checkered flag as the winner, and that's a big deal for him. It's a really interesting concept, but I'd do something about that weather. So what do? Cover the entire 2-mile course with a roof? I don't think so.
No, it's already bad enough. They try to build a race in the middle of one of the toughest cities in the country to drive through, let alone deal with the weather. Either way, Ned, glad to see you, and have a great day.
The following is a high-five moment from highfivecasino.com.
Welcome to Burger Yippee. Would you like a hot apple pie today?
Yes, yeah, I won! Woohoo!
So that's a yes on the apple pie?
I just went big time playing High Five Casino on my phone. Real cash prizes, free daily rewards, over 1,200 games. Yeah!
So yes or no on the apple pie?
Whoa! I won again!
I'll take that as a yes. Drive around.
Have you had your high-five moment today? Only at highfivecasino.com.
High Five Casino is a social casino. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited. Play responsibly. Conditions apply. See website for details.
High Five Casino.